let's go on. The siege of Donald Trump continues. The siege. It's the media state Democrat siege against Donald Trump. Poor lonely Donald, which makes it very hard to feel sorry for him. But we'll try. We'll try a little bit to feel sorry for him. The latest scandal. It's funny because you have to report on these things. I remember opening this week by talking about spending the night with a woman who was a congenital liar, and how toward the end of the night you started to believe her because you just couldn't believe they would lie about everything. So I don't believe the press lies about everything. I just believe it has become impossible to tell what a lie is. The latest story, and this is the story, is a guy who says he's a friend of Comey, and the reporter tells us he's a friend of Comey, but we have no way of knowing it, called the New York Times and read them what they said was a memo that Comey wrote after a meeting with Donald Trump, saying Trump had asked him to lay off Michael Flynn because he was a good guy. I hope you can let this pass. I think that were his words, okay? So that's a very serious thing. It depends how he did it. If he said, the guy's a great guy, I hope we can get past this. That's one thing. If he said, hey, I'm the president, get over it, don't investigate my friend Michael Flynn, that of course is a total other thing. And it may never have happened. And this is one of the things I want to talk about is the way these scandals, these so-called scandals, pile up. We start to assume each one is true. And even if we debunk one, it still creates this atmosphere of panic and that this whole place is blowing up. And of course, Trump, doesn't help himself because, as I said about Trump, that he is a man who does seem capable of learning. But the one thing he doesn't seem capable of learning how to do is shut up, because the Republicans are running for their life. Here's Brett Baer yesterday saying he can't get anybody on the phone, even from the president's own party.
The calls now on the Hill for, if there are tapes, to hear them, to see the transcripts, to have Comey testify, they are going to increase. We've tried tonight to get Republicans to come out and talk to us, and there are not Republicans willing to go on camera tonight as of yet, and we'll see if that changes. Does this story, before we confirm all of it, if it's confirmable, change the dynamic on Capitol Hill?
I think it does.
So Brett, you gotta stick the microphone under the bed where the Republicans are hiding. You can't just walk around Capitol Hill because you can't find them anymore. And look, I can't. The Republicans tend to be like abused children. They've been hit by the press so long and so hard that they're like, oh, don't wake up, Daddy, because he gets mad. So they are a cowardly bunch, but. It's hard to blame them because every time they come out and say, oh, Trump didn't do it, or they echo a Trump denial, Trump then sends out a tweet saying, well, I did do it, but I did it for a good reason or whatever. And he just makes them look bad. So they don't want to be the guy. Nobody wants to be the guy to step forward in front of the camera. The White House denied the report. They said nothing untoward happened, but no name was attached to that. So it's just like they made it into a paper airplane, just threw it out the window of the White House and hopefully hit somebody. So we're now looking at several different scenarios. Okay, I can count a bunch of different scenarios, but let's take a look at some of them. One is the deep state and the media and the Democrats are basically besieging the president, trying to destroy him. That's number one. Two, Trump is an utterly Nixonian figure. The Trump is Hitler thing is pretty close to the truth, and basically these are patriots saving the country from destruction. Three is that Trump is on a steep learning curve. He doesn't know what he's doing. He thinks it's like, he doesn't understand yet that his words now carry the weight of a missile. They carry the force of a missile. He's the president of the United States. He's a bumbler. He's kind of, John Podhoretz wrote in the New York Post today, right now the very best you can say about Donald Trump is that he stinks at this whole president thing, in large part because he keeps creating trouble for himself and entirely on his own. And he goes on and says, yes, the media are against him and the Democrats want to scalp, but everyone inclined to indulge Trump in his self-pity about how he's being badly treated by others in Washington and badly served by his own staff is ignoring the basic facts of the political situation he is bungling at present like no one has bungled before. So that's another possibility, that he's just a bungler. And then a fourth possibility, of course, is a combination that the press, the deep state, and the Democrats have gone insane and are basically trying a slow motion assassination of this president, and Trump is in some way contributing to that. And of course, I think that I think is obviously somewhere along there is the truth. I mean, somewhere along, Trump is not handling this well. He has left the GOP. He's making a speech this morning at the Coast Guard graduation ceremony, and there's a little self-pity involved, but also a little triumphalism. Listen to what he says.
Over the course of your life, you will find that things are not always fair. You will find that things happen to you that you do not deserve and that are not always warranted. But you have to put your head down and fight, fight, fight. Never, ever, ever give up. Things will work out just fine. Look at the way I've been treated lately, especially by the media. No politician in history, and I say this with great surety, has been treated worse or more unfairly. You can't let them get you down. You can't let the critics and the naysayers get in the way of your dreams. I guess that's why I won. Thank you. I guess that's why we won.
No politician in history has ever been treated worse. I mean, I'm thinking Lincoln, like first one half of the country left. That was bad. That was bad. And then they blew his head off. Which also can put a dent in your day. I mean, so I mean that. But I like the fight part. I think that's kind of the right tone to set, and he does have to go strike back against these guys. But yesterday, as I made it clear, and what everybody is yelling at me about is I do think that Trump has bumbled and fumbled things and all this, and I do think I'm willing at this point to attribute it to a learning curve. I don't think he's been trying to shut down investigations or anything like that. But I really do think the greater danger comes from not the press. See, everybody keeps saying, you're blaming the media. Blaming the media is so old. We know the media is left wing. Get over it. Get over it. That's not the problem. That is not the problem. It's the combination of the media, the Democrats, and the state leaking on this guy. Let me show you. First, I got to say goodbye, unfortunately. I got a really good clip to show you, a really interesting clip that says exactly what I want to say. But you've got to come over to thedailywire.com if you want to hear it. And while you're at thedailywire.com, you should subscribe for a lousy $8 a month. You can be in the mailbag. All your problems will be solved.